When there are big moments in New York City, they happen at Madison Square Garden. As tonight, it will happen probably in the first 5 minutes of the game. It is now the most expensive ticket New York has seen in years, legitimately, and it's got nothing to do with the New York Knicks. Steph Curry about to become the all-time leader in made three-point shots. It'll happen at Madison Square Garden. It is a minimum now of nearly $1,000 to walk into the building. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
So you're excited about this?
I am all pumped up.
Even though it's a visitor?
Yeah.
Even though it's somebody that you
when
missed
Jordan dropped the double nickel at the Garden, guess what?
What?
We cheered it.
Oh, come on.
That's right, because you respect greatness.
What kind of Knick fan are you?
I one that respects greatness.
No,
there are
Steph
certain
Curry,
guys, like Steph Curry, is not a hated rival
I'm not saying
of the
he
Knicks.
is. I'm not saying he is.
He's arguably the greatest shooter of all time in this league. He's going to tonight enjoy a very big personal accomplishment, and it's going to happen in our building.
Yeah, but
I embrace it.
No. Look, you can view it however you want, but this is a guy that Knick fans were drooling about in 2009.
Damn
You wanted
near
to
got
draft him, and you missed him by one.
But that's not his fault.
I'm not blaming Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, this would not be something I'd want to celebrate. I remember when Mark McGwire came into Shea Stadium and Met fans were cheering him because he was breaking history by hitting his 50th home run in another season. And I, as a Met fan, said, I'm worried about my team. I'm not worried about some
selfish
guy.
that way, but okay, fair enough.
I'm a diehard fan.
But here's what's interesting. You acknowledged that in that one moment, you're probably in the minority in that building.
I was, yes.
Right. Yeah. So this is not the first time we've been through this, obviously. You just came up with a good one that I forgot about. This is a sports moment. This is a history-making moment. It's going to happen in our building. And here's what's going to happen when he does make his second three-pointer tonight. They're going to stand and cheer. That's what they're going to do tonight.
I wouldn't personally.
Yeah, well,
it's not a knock on Steph. It's not saying that he's hateable or he's a rival. It's that I'm going to my building to watch my team play, to watch my team win.
You still want the Knicks to win.
I get that, but you're celebrating someone else, and I'd be sick and tired of celebrating other stars in my building. I wouldn't want all my big moments to be, hey, remember those MVP chants for Kobe? Hey, remember when Steph broke the three-point record? Hey, remember when Michael Jordan went for a double nickel? Enough of that. I want to cheer my guys,
but
my team.
One thing's got nothing to do with the other one. It's like it's a standalone moment. It doesn't change all the other stuff you're saying. We still want all that stuff. We want Knick moments, obviously, Ranger moments, like you want Net moments or Islander moments. We both want Jet moments. But there are moments, there's not a lot of them, I don't think, where you just respect the greatness of a visiting player.
I do respect him. I want to make this clear, and I don't hate him. It's just that I would prefer, I watched the last quarter of the Indiana Golden State game last night, and as a Knicks fan,
I was so happy, by the way.
That he didn't break the record.
That he did not break the record. I wanted it to happen here.
I would have rooted for him to break the record. So I don't want to deal with the embarrassment of him getting a standing ovation and MVP chance. I don't want that.
That's where we're different. I don't think it's embarrassing. I don't. I think it's very rare for it to happen in the manner I know we both know what's going to happen tonight. Mm-hmm. We can argue whether or not how we would behave for sure. But he's going to get a standing ovation. That doesn't mean it's going to be unanimous or 100%, but he's going to get a standing ovation when he hits that second. Every time he shoots from behind the arc until he makes the 2 threes tonight, it's going to be,
Right.
Like we're going to live and die with it as if he's playing for us. And then once he breaks it, it's going to be, bing bong, let's go Knicks. And let's hope we win, which we're not going to do.
But do you remember June 25th, 2009? Do you remember how you felt, how most Knick fans felt? That was the guy you targeted. That was the guy who you thought, especially as guys were coming off the board and the Knicks are sitting there at 7, oh my God, or 8, I should say. Steph's going to fall to us. Steph was our guy.
But we didn't know how good he was going to be.
You didn't know he was going to be this good, but he clearly was the targeted guy. And then looking at the way things turned out, that you draft Jordan Hill, that Steph becomes the greatest three-point shooter of all time. His breakout moment was at Madison Square Garden 2013. That night I pretended I was someone else at a bar. And you guys won that night, but Steph dropped 52. that doesn't add to some bitterness that this could have been you?
None whatsoever.
This guy could have been your guy?
None whatsoever. Because it wasn't his fault. It wasn't Golden State's fault. They took the guy they should have taken. He's the best player from that draft by far. Best shooter in the league's history. We have a whole new regime, making decisions here for basketball. Can't argue why didn't they jump up one spot and get him. Listen, tonight's one of those rare moments, I think, and we can certainly take calls on it, where it's so unique, it's so organic, it's so special. I'm happy it's taking place in my building, and I wanted it to. Like when we saw the schedule, you and I talked about it last week, and we were like, wait a minute, all right, he's got Philly on Saturday.
Right.
He's got Indiana yesterday, obviously, and then the Knick game, right? I said yes last week, and I'll say it again. I was rooting against him in Philadelphia, and I was glad he had a bad shooting night. Last night, where it certainly could have happened on an average shooting night.
And they had a great
for
comeback
Steph Curry.
win, by the way, too.
I was rooting against him because I like big moments. I'm a big Joe Bob. I told you that, Big Show Bob. I want big moments in my building.
Yeah, but it's at a big moment that's not really involving you.
Well, but it's not even a Golden State moment, really.
No, it's a Steph Curry moment.
So I'm going to appreciate greatness tonight, and I'm going to tip my cap, and I'm going to watch every second of the game anyway, but I will watch on the edge of my seat tonight at home. Using your app because I still don't get the freaking.
No. You're good tonight.
I don't get the network. Tonight's a TNT.
Tonight's a TNT night.
Dodge the bullet there.
With Reggie Miller calling the game. Knick fans are going to love that.
I'm good with it. Listen, I'm a celebratator. Celebratator? No, that's not a word.
Celebratory?
No, that's not the word I'm looking for. What do you call a person who celebrates a lot? A celebrator.
A party animal?
Not a dictator. Celebrator. I'm a celebrator of great moments. So I'm going to bake my popcorn, and I'm going to enjoy it.
By the way, that night, I was at that draft that night, June 25th, and I don't know if you remember this.
Where was that? At the Garden?
It was at Madison Square Garden.
Felt Forum?
And, excuse me?
Felt Forum?
I think it was, yeah. Whatever
Probably.
they called
In the
it
theater
at the time.
at the Garden, they call it now, right?
So that night, a major moment in American history happened, besides the draft. Non-sports related, and it's one of those moments.
June
25th, 2009. And what I remember most about that night is finding out this news in a bar right before I went inside.
June 25th, 2009.
It shocked the world. It was one of those events where everybody...
Was that when we got Bin Laden?
No. No.
June 25th.
Do you want a hint?
I want to guess
moment.
it. I want to really guess it.
No, I'll give you a hint.
Non-sports, I assume.
Non-sports at all. It stopped everyone in their tracks because everyone knew who this person was.
Someone died.
Somebody died.
Michael Jackson.
Nailed it. Good call.
Yeah, I had dinner that night, as a matter of fact, at Rayo's.
You remember where you were.
With Danny DeVito.
What?
Joe Piscopo.
What is happening?
What? Sonny Grasso. And a well-known federal judge who actually wrote the manuscript for a great movie, Carlito's Way.
Are you describing a scene from a movie?
No, I swear to God. I was driving to Rayo's when I found out Michael Jackson died.
Right.
And I had dinner. Danny DeVito showed up drunk, trying to peddle his, he had a limoncello liqueur that he was trying to make everybody buy.
Right.
And I was with Joe Piscopo, Sonny Grasso, who I believe has since passed away, may he rest in peace, who is one of the most famous New York detectives of all time up in Harlem. And I forget the judge's name, but the judge wrote Carlito's Way.
Isn't it amazing? That's one of those moments we all remember where we were. You remember where you were.
Yeah.
I was going to the draft outside Madison Square Garden. I remember where I was. So it wasn't only the night where the Knicks missed Steph Curry by one pick. And if you're in Minnesota, you decided to draft Johnny Flynn instead of Steph. Absolutely.
It's funny because I remembered Michael Jackson dying and me talking about it with the guys at Rayo's.
Right.
And I don't remember talking about Jordan Hill that night.
The draft.
Yeah. By the way, we have a major announcement coming up in literally 4 minutes here on The Fan about a future, I'll just say about the future. It's an announcement about the future.
You got to see the speculation on Twitter about this.
Yeah, that's why I put it out there in the exact manner I did. And that's why I told people on Twitter, cross your fingers and hope. Maybe you'll get your wish. But we do have an announcement, and Evan and I are both cool with it. And that announcement is coming up literally in a couple of minutes. But so listen, tonight's a big night, man. It's not, I don't view it as an enemy of New York or anti-New York. It's clearly an individual versus a team moment. Yes, it does nothing for us as a Knick fan or the Knick franchise, but it's a great moment in sports. And, I always think there are not a lot of these moments, right? There are few and far between these historical moments, whether they be individual or team. Tom Brady's 600th regular season touchdown pass. I don't know. Cal Ripken, I know you don't like it. The
consecutive
Lou Gehrig
game
thing.
streak? No, I like the streak.
Or whatever it is, right?
I don't like him as a player.
So to me, this is a special moment in sports history.
Why do you think? Because the NBA and the NFL have records that just don't resonate the way baseball does. When Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa are on the home run chase, even Barry Bonds with the steroid stuff, baseball connects with records. This is one of those rare basketball records that's connecting.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Is it because it's Steph?
Well, listen, obviously he's one of the great players and face of the league for a long time, for sure. I think part of it is that you can fairly compare him to who he's competing against.
Right.
Football doesn't really have that. You really can't compare a guy playing football today to a guy playing football in the 60s, right?
But you can't even do that here because the three-point shot has become something that's really gone crazy over the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Steph Curry's a part of that.
But Ray Allen took it from the same distance.
Right, but when Ray Allen passed Reggie Miller, did it get a lot of attention?
Not the way this one is, no.
That's my point.
But also because you're Ray Allen, while you're a great player for sure.
Bingo.
This guy's special.
That's
this guy
why.
is a Mount Rushmore player.
That's why it's a bigger deal than Reggie Miller being passed by Ray Allen. And the reason I think it's a bigger deal is because Steph Curry's a god. Let's face it, he's a living, breathing God. We are witnessing a man who changed the game of basketball in a way that even LeBron James didn't.
Listen,
and that's not about debating who has a better legacy. It's about telling you how it is. And you know this. Steph Curry changed the way basketball was played.
Did.
So I think a lot of the intrigue on this streak is not, or the record, is not the record. It's the fact that Steph Curry is climbing a mountain that no one will maybe ever match. And it just signifies his greatness.
Listen, there's only 2 or 3 guys that, as you just said, changed the game.
Will
Chamberlain changed the game. You could say that Doc changed the game with the manner in which the game is played. Jordan then popularized that. LeBron James didn't change the game.
Right.
As great as he is, he's one of the greats, obviously. But you're right, he did change the game. And there's someone else who's been changing the game here in New York. And a part of our big 2:15 announcement is welcoming a dear, close personal friend of mine on the air to make the announcement with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you New York's finest first baseman, Mr. Pete Alonso. Pete, it's Evan and Craig. How you been, buddy?
What's up? Doing well. Doing very, very well. I'm super excited for the holiday season and what's to come in the new year.
No doubt. And if I may say, the Pope, Pete, you're friends with the Pope now? How did that come about?
So I was really, really fortunate. So the church that we got married, that married us, they have connections in the Vatican, and what they did, they got us tickets to the papal mass. And the special thing that they do, the Sposi Novelli, the newlywed couples, they get a front row seat, and the Pope is right there after the mass, and he blesses the newlyweds.
That's crazy.
That was really special, really, really special.
Does it feel different to be a married man right now?
It's truly the best thing I've ever done. I cannot express how happy I am and how lucky and blessed I am. I'm so happy.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Now that ring's on your finger, you're doing the dishes. The garbage goes out Tuesdays and Thursdays. The dog gets walked.
Come on now. I've been doing that.
I know this is a very sensitive time baseball-wise, so I want to be respectful of that. But I do think it's okay for me to ask you, kind of walk us through where you were and how you found out about the addition. Not just, obviously, Max Scherzer's the big one, but you guys made a lot of good moves this offseason. But Scherzer in particular, when did you find out about it? How did you find out about it?
So I was actually, I was just actually kind of busy and on a honeymoon, and like I really didn't know what was going on, but people were kind of bombarding me with texts. I was actually at dinner, and people were like, "Oh, like my phone was just buzzing in my pocket," and I was like, "Okay, something must have happened." And it's like we were over in Italy, and it was like, "Oh." Looked at the table, looked at my phone. All right, well, that's why my phone's buzzing. It's like we got Max, we got Mad Max.
There are Met fans, myself included, Pete, that still can't believe it. Like I walk around saying, I can't believe Max Scherzer's a Met. Are you still feeling that way, or is it sunk in that a guy that you've had to face over the years is now your teammate?
Yeah, I mean it was great. He was actually he was my first pitcher I've ever faced in a big league game. So
right, opening day, 2019. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So and then also like I was able to. I mean, I really enjoy facing him because he's one of the best in the game. I really enjoy facing him because it's an unbelievable battle because I'm very strong-willed and competitive, and obviously we all know why. He's called Mad Max. I mean, he just loses it, and he's just such a bulldog and competitor and just super unbelievable talent. But I really like facing him because it lets me know where I'm at. It lets me know where I stack up against the best in the game. But fortunately, we got him on our side.
No doubt.
Have you
so that's so exciting.
Have you had a chance to chat with him yet?
Here and there, I've talked to him. So I talked to him at the All-Star game in 2019, and when I was there for the Home Run Derby this year in Colorado, I talked to him just briefly, just in passing, like some small talk. But I mean, it's going to be exciting to have him in the locker room. I mean, I can't wait to see how he competes over a full year, and not just next year, but years to come.
Let me tell people why Pete's calling in. So for the last couple of months, I've been talking with Pete and his representatives. The original, and we were trying to come up with an idea that made sense for New York, for New Yorkers, that could raise money for Pete's foundation. Pete and his wife Haley have a great foundation called Homers for Heroes, and they basically help. They raise money, obviously, and then they take that money and they raise a spotlight on teachers and coaches and medical staff and first responders and veterans, regular, average, everyday people that make their specific communities a brighter place. And Pete's been doing this with Haley for a while now. And I remember we first found out about it when Pete did the Home Run Derby out in Brooklyn at Maimonides Park this past summer. So we originally had this idea where I go, listen, here's what we're going to do. Let's roast Pete Alonso. And that we went down that street a little bit. But listen, just a little bit. And then we decided rather than roast him, why don't we just have Pete host the event with us? And all the money, 100% of the money that we raise from ticket sales, why don't we just give it to Pete's foundation, Pete and Haley, his wife? Well, let's just give them all the money and do something good for the community. So it literally took about 48 hours, and we just had to wait for Pete and Haley to come back from their honeymoon and hanging out with the Pope to set up a time to do it. So I'm very happy to announce that Carton Roberts, in conjunction with Pete and Haley and Homers for Heroes, on January 27th, we'll have a night of comedy at Gotham Comedy Club. There'll be a meet and greet for VIP ticket purchasers and regular access, obviously, for those that just want to come see the show. The tickets are going to go on sale Thursday morning at 8 o'clock, and we'll, of course, announce all that and give you a link in that. But it's going to be January 27th, and we're thrilled to be a part of your foundation, Pete. And if you want to just give people a little bit more insight, what is it that you and Haley do? And when people buy these tickets, what do you guys do with the money?
Right. So pretty much what we do with everybody's kind donation. So what we do, we try and figure out what the time. It's basically there's a certain time of year that are like, especially now that around Christmas. So what we're doing because we're in Tampa, what we're going to be doing a hospital visit to the Tampa Children's Hospital, especially for terminally ill children with cancer. So what we're going to do is put together a lot of gift bags and stuff like that. Maybe some video games, some swag. Hopefully convert some Tampa Bay Rays fans into some Mets fans down here in Tampa. So what we're going to do, we're going to go try and bring the holiday spirit to the Tampa Bay Children's Hospital. That's what we're doing right now. And then also what I plan on doing is, because we've done a lot with first responders, teachers, doctors, nurses with the pandemic, but now we're kind of, because of the holiday season, we want to kind of focus the attention and need to for children, especially children who may need to have a little bit, have their day brightened or made them, or we want to be able to make everybody feel special for regardless of the circumstances that they're going through. And also we have a little league visit to West Tampa Little League. I played ball there. I hit my first home run there growing up as a kid. And even though that wasn't my home Little League, I know that there's it's in a town that, or it's in a part of town that needs funds and needs help to support young kids, boys and girls' dream to compete at a higher level. So what we're doing, we've been focusing a lot this off season around children, but we're extremely fluid with different causes. I mean, we've done a lot, so much for New York, especially with the first responders, policemen, firefighters, people that work in sanitation, EMTs, teachers and nurses, doctors. I mean, especially with the pandemic, we wanted to be able to make a difference. And there's been so many instances where people's hard work or people shining and bringing positivity, not just in their community, but beyond that. We want to be able to highlight those stories and help those individuals. So we just want to be able to help as many people as possible and just continue to bring positivity to as many communities and people as possible. So that's our mission.
So this is talking to Pete Alonso, obviously, and January 27th will be the event at Gotham Comedy Club. Tickets will go on sale this Thursday. Now, here's one part of this you don't know. When we did our last comedy show for a Warrior Fund for men and women of the military who come back who have some issues, I made Evan get on stage, and Evan had to do a minute of time, and he did it. You got to do a minute. You don't got to do 2 minutes, but you got to do a minute. That's what you got to do.
I got one joke.
Okay, we'll save it. Don't say it now.
Is it an anti-Yankee joke? What do you got?
So
no, it's not an anti-Yankee joke. I promise you that.
All right.
It's
now,
it may be longer than 1 minute.
That's fine. Oh, that's great. By the way, it just has to be at least a minute. It can go long. And the folks at Gotham, the Mazzilli brothers, said that if you need help, they're happy to sit down and get their joke writing team together with you before the event. But you're going to come on stage and do at least a minute. Outside of that, you're all good, okay?
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Well, Pete, listen, it's a privilege to be a part of the foundation that you and Haley have. I know you've embraced New York as much as New Yorkers have embraced you. I also respect there's a big sensitivity now to what a guy in your spot can say and not say regarding your profession, baseball. So we'll be respectful of that for sure. And just cross our fingers that you guys all work it out so that you get to spring training on time and we can enjoy a big season of baseball.
Are you following the managerial search, or are you just letting it be, and then when they name a manager, you'll check it out and find out? How are you handling the search right now?
Well, I mean, with the climate and everything going on in the industry, I'm just trying to not dive too deep into anything. I just want to take it as it comes, and whoever's the manager, I'm going to be super excited about, because I know that we've been looking for a long while now, and whoever it is, I mean, they're gonna. I feel like that the people in charge are going to make an incredible decision. So I got faith.
You'll love Buck Showalter. You and Buck are going to get along great. I can see it.
All right, pal. We'll talk to you again before the event. Look forward to seeing you in January. And thanks for letting us be a part of the foundation. And you keep it up. And best to Haley and the family, and be well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I got one more thing to say.
Yeah.
Bing, bong.
My man, pots and pans. I love it. All right, be good. I'll talk to you later. All right, there you have it.
Is that going to
Pete
become a
Alonso.
Met thing now?
Bing bong.
I saw NYCFC did a little bing bong.
That's right.
I mean, anyone should do it besides the Knicks because they're trash. So, like, if the Mets want to take it.
Take it. Yeah,
Because it ain't working for Evan Fournier and the Knicks.
It's out there for anybody to take it. So that's the announcement. January 27th, our second comedy event. This one will benefit Homers for Heroes. Tickets will go on sale this Thursday at 8 o'clock. It's at Gotham Comedy Club right here in New York City. There will be 100 VIP tickets, which will give you the chance to have your picture taken with me, Evan, and, of course, Pete. And we'll go from there. But it'll be a great event. It'll be lots of fun. It's going to sell out in like a day or two. So once the tickets go on sale this Thursday morning at 8 o'clock, be sure to get yours and help support Pete's Foundation. I want to make it clear again, Gotham Comedy Club, and I'm very close with Chris and Steve, the Mazzillis, who are amazing. 100%. Every single ticket sold, that money goes directly to Pete's Foundation. Every 100% of it. So that's where it goes. None of the money comes through me or Evan. The money goes directly from the comedy club right to the foundation. And it's going to be a great event. And hopefully you'll be able to get tickets. It's a small venue. So I would just suggest you get your tickets
And he's already
on
committed
Thursday.
to a minute and a half of
There you
comedy.
go.
The comedy styling.
Pete Alonso on
Pete
stage.
Alonso.
That's right. That's right.
Nice.
So that's it. I think it's going to be great, yeah?
Can't wait.
We'll get all your calls coming up. We got the big moment tonight. We got a bunch of football news as it looks like Joe Judge is coming back for another year.